Not just the destruction, but now the frustration. Millions of people mistakenly received emergency alerts telling them to evacuate. This happened twice. The second time it happened was this morning.
Yeah, the mistakes created panic that the county says it did quickly address. Investigative reporter Candace Wynn joins us with what went wrong and how the system is supposed to work.
LA County's Director of Emergency Management says these cell phone alerts have already saved lives, getting people to evacuate. But for millions of people, a couple of those alerts also created unnecessary chaos and some distrust in the alert system. Friday morning, a tweet by the city of Beverly Hills saying at 4 a.m. an evacuation alert went out. The county's Office of Emergency Management confirming it was another error. The first error, Thursday. Millions of people, the office says, received this alert on their phone, also by mistake, telling them to gather loved ones, pets, and supplies and evacuate. About 15 minutes later, a message to disregard.
I can't express enough how sorry I am for this experience. First of all, I want to clarify, this is not human driven. There is no one sitting at a desk right now.
This dude is shaking. I don't know if you can look closely at his fingers, but this dude is shaking. For him to say that it was not humans that were sending this message out to the public is very worrisome. And I'm playing this video because there's a follow-up video that's going to make me have a theory of what's going on with these LA fires.
Initiating emergency alerts.
Kevin McGowan, director of LA County's Office of Emergency Management, says local authorities initiated the alert for the correct area. However, there was a system error that sent the emergency alert to the entire county.
We have every technical specialist working to resolve this issue and to find the root cause.
Here's how these wireless emergency alerts, or WIAs, are supposed to work. Authorized national, state, or local authorities send them through FEMA's warning system to a specific geographic zone affected by an emergency. Meaning if you're in that zone and have a WIA-capable phone, even if you're visiting from out of town, you're supposed to get that alert.
Tonight, disturbing new details about how the communist Chinese, through a group of cyber hackers, have penetrated deeply into critical American infrastructure, from our water systems to sensitive government communications to our electrical grid, and yeah, even our military. We're talking incursions that are far more extensive than previously thought. Now, the Wall Street Journal is reporting that these aggressive moves by China cyber thugs started as early as 2019. Investigators found the hackers lurked sometimes for years, periodically testing access at a regional airport. Investigators found the hackers had secured access and then returned every 6 months to make sure they could still get in. Oh, good. Hackers spent at least 9 months in the network of a water treatment system, moving into an adjacent server to study the operations of the plant. At a utility in LA, the hackers searched for material about how the utility would respond in the event of an emergency.
And look what's going on right now. I have a theory that there's these Chinese hackers that are doing a testing phase with our infrastructure when it comes to the water situation in LA. How convenient that there was no water in the reservoirs. Just saying, I don't want to freak people out. The point of me speaking on this is not to incite fear. Nobody should be fearful of what's going on, regardless of the situation. Whatever happens is going to happen. It is up to every single one of us on how we're going to respond to it. And that's the very first thing, calming down, figuring out what exactly is going on, and then respond to it effectively. Now, this is just a theory with these hackers going on. Especially, was it 2 weeks ago or a week ago? The Department of Treasury was hacked and they're still trying to figure out what's going on with that. I mean, there's so many hacking situations recently and within the past 4 years that the media failed to really emphasize to the American people.
Or a crisis. Another hacking group known as Salt Typhoon burrowed into the U.S. wireless networks to get data from more than 1 million people. They even obtained audio from senior government officials, including some calls with Trump.
There have been reports that Chinese government hackers have breached a really...
Okay, I have to say something. I cannot stand this woman. She is definitely a DEI hire. She did not earn this position. Every time she gets questioned on anything that's very important for almost everything that's been questioned is very important for the American people from these reporters, journalists. She does not answer questions. She likes to evade. I mean, I need to pull up so many videos of her being questioned, and the way she answers these questions is just she's evasive.
Sensitive office within the U.S. Treasury. OFAC, of course, administers economic sanctions. What more can you tell us about the scope of this and what information has been compromised?
So what I can say is the president was briefed on this.
You should have,
we are
okay.
closely tracking the incident.
You should be.
We're working to identify actions to mitigate the future risks to U.S. government networks.
Okay, that's...
Oh, we're tracking it, are we? As usual, how reassuring Biden is monitoring the situation. Joining me now is Christian Whiten, former State Department senior advisor. Christian, all right, what is China laying the groundwork for here? Water supply, electrical grid, now even consumer cellular information, government comms?
Right, Laura. Well, this is very clearly a digital fifth column that China is preparing to use if there's ever a crisis or war with the United States, if China makes a move on Taiwan and the Philippines, especially with the Philippines, a treaty ally. If we move to make a defense, then all of a sudden, you turn on your faucet and nothing comes out, or the lights go out, your phones don't work, there's critical infrastructure. This is nothing new as far as capability. The Israelis have used this against the Iranians. Once they turned off gas pumps in Tehran, another time they made sure everyone had left the plant, but then caused a fire at a steel mill. The question is, why is China being permitted to sort of do this against us, and why it's gained this credibility? Because the penetration really is very deep here.
Well, I think...
I know why. Because we had 4 years of a president that does not really care about this country. Yes, I'm saying it. He does not care about this country. The policies he put in place, the very first thing he did on day one was get rid of a lot of Trump's old policies from when Trump was Trump's first term. That alone opened the borders to a lot of illegal immigrants just walking through the border. Border Patrol couldn't do anything because they're instructed by our government. Well, it's not just illegal immigrants wanting just to come here to have a good life, work hard, try to do something, escape their home country, which I have a lot to speak on that as well. Terrorists are also coming through easily into this country. For 4 years, 4 years of being able to plan for something, why is our government, why is Biden allowing this to happen? That's the question we ask, and we don't get no answer from anyone in the Democratic Party leadership. Nobody. That makes me believe that a lot of these things, the Chinese spy balloon, the drones happening right now that are scattered across the country, this is all purpose. This is all on purpose.
What's new is the fact that our infrastructure, despite our spending billions and billions of dollars and trillions on our security apparatus and our military, is this vulnerable. And the Wall Street Journal is also reporting, by the way, Christian, that some national security officials involved in the investigation said they believe the telecom hack is so severe and the network so compromised that the U.S. may never be able to say with certainty that the Chinese hackers have been fully rooted out. So again,
Right,
everybody spies on everybody, Christian. But this is a level of espionage that seems very, very concerning given what's at stake with the size of their standing army and Taiwan in particular.
Right, and it's ironic or just angering that those same national security officials are some of the ones that are partly responsible, not just through sins of omission, being asleep at the wheel, focusing all of our defense forces on Ukraine, where I would argue there are no vital U.S. national interests, and neglecting the China threat. But it was actually the FBI itself, including the highly politicized imbecile Christopher Wray, who is on his way out, thankfully, to be replaced by Kash Patel, who was against encryption all along, who actually insisted that these telecom companies, Cisco was involved, Verizon is involved, AT&T involved, insisted that they have back doors so that law enforcement can conduct surveillance on the communications of Americans. And that's what the Chinese use to break into this.
What do you know?
The back door.
I always say this, and I'm probably going to say this a million times on my channel. Nobody wants to be involved in anything until it personally affects them in any type of situation, whether it has to do with immigration or fires going on or any type of policies that typically conservatives or Republicans are pushing on people to say, hey, pay attention, wake up, America, what's going on? And this is just an example. I'm glad we have Elon Musk kind of in the ear of Donald Trump, just because, you know, we need strong leaders in government, whether you're a politician or not. If you have a mind of ideas to help make this country better in every sense of the word, everybody needs to be involved. People need to start rising. That's kind of why I wanted to start this YouTube channel. I believe there's so many voices out there and so many people that have great ideas on how to make this country a little bit better in any aspect of what this country is about. Whether you want to talk about any type of issues, anything, abortion, education, housing, anything. Like, there are so many people in this country that have ideas, and a lot of them are afraid to speak up and say something, either because, you know, they feel like they'll be rejected, or, you know, friends or family might stop talking to them because they think or feel a certain way about an issue or a topic. I believe that's poison. That's just poison. You're allowing yourself to poison yourself by not expressing your freedom of speech. I encourage everybody that watches this to really express yourself, and no matter what the cost is, whether it's your reputation, money. I mean, Elon Musk, yeah, he built himself up to have the amount of money he has, being the richest man in the world, to say basically, I'm going to do what I want for the goodness of people, even if it costs me money. Buying Twitter, getting rid of the censorship that was going on at the time, now turning it into X, where you have the freedom to... I don't have X, but I was thinking about getting it. I just try not to dive so much into social media apps, but personally... But what I was saying is basically, don't be afraid to speak your mind and share it with the world, because some of those ideas may help some people, one person, or everyone. And that's very important. And also, speaking on ideas, anytime ideas are thrown out there, it helps other people listening to those ideas to help make that idea even better or bigger, and to actually have the ability to make action to make those ideas happen in a positive, good way for everyone. And that's what I believe.